We should be live. We should be live. Hold on. welcome to the Grand Master Troll Show. And unfortunately today, we have reached. Oh, let me get my computer ready. We have reached critical mass. So YNs have been running wild the past 2 months. They have been running wild for the past 2 months. It's been a while since I went live. I've been struggling with my OBS, so I'm on StreamYard. I'm on StreamYard. We got Build a Bunker in the building. Build a Bunker says, come on, GMT. You were wrong about Trump. He's a effing disaster and a functional retard. You were wrong about Republicans. They won't even vote to have military. Donald Trump is doing a fine job. We'll give him his grade in 4 years. But welcome to the Grandmaster Troll Show. You know who it is on this late night. It's your boy, the Grandmaster Troll, here to give you guys some of the best trolling content YouTube has to offer. Shout out to the Reject Army, the Nif-Nons, the dishwashers, the bedwetters, the struggling single mothers who are doing their best to keep from drowning because they can't pay for their kids, they can't pay their rent, they are struggling out there. So I'm going to spend a special shout out to them. Don't ask me for no money because I cannot give y'all single mothers no more money. So don't ask Grandmaster Troll for a damn thing. Don't ask me for a damn thing. So we got Jalen in the building. He says, let me slide down to these comments. We got Jalen in the building. He says OBS sucks and Streamlabs sucks. Every time I log into my Streamlabs and I try to make a pre-recorded video, this freezes my whole laptop. I tried to reset it and that didn't work. So here I am on StreamYard. Somebody says you're not allowed to come live anymore without a Mac ad and a Trump life-size cardboard cutout body. I mean, Donald Trump is doing a fabulous job, but we gotta talk about these YNs. We gotta talk about these YNs because every night when I come home from work, there's a YN that's doing some of the most egregious thing. They robbing people, hitting people over the head, tearing people out their frame, doing it and More importantly. Hold on. I think I have a drop. I
bet you Kane won't be laughing after 5-0 get a hold of this motherfucking tape.
It's been murder tape after murder tape, and these dudes is committing crimes like 5-0 won't get a hold of the murder tape.
I bet you Kane won't be laughing after 5-0 get a hold of this motherfucking tape.
And it amazes me how these YNs have no regard not for human life, not for their own life, but they don't even have regard from the cameras that's hanging above their heads that's recording everything on 4K. So we're gonna play some of these murder tapes. We're definitely gonna play some of these murder tapes. Who do we got? Who do we got first on the docket? Oh, let me see. Let me see if I can find this one real quick. Man, this dude right here is crazy what this man did in Dallas. And I'm not even getting into the whole Carmelo Anthony situation. We gotta talk about what your boy did in Dallas real quick. Let me see if I can pull this mug up real quick for him.
Overnight, 17-year-old Tracy Haynes Jr. surrendered to police hours after he allegedly went on a shooting rampage at a Dallas high school.
You don't talk to nobody.
Shocking new surveillance video showing the moment investigators say Haynes opened fire. According to
Stop the show. Your boy in high school. No, they got cameras on, and he lights up the joint.
Investigators say Haynes opened fire. According to an arrest affidavit, an unidentified student let the suspect into the school through an unsecured door around 1 p.m. Tuesday. The affidavit says Haynes struck multiple students, adding he approached one student and appeared to take a point-blank shot. The teenager booked on a felony charge of aggravated assault, mass shooting. Under Texas law, he's considered an adult.
One thing he said when we was in my office was, I don't want to get killed.
Anton Lucky, who leads an anti-violence community organization, says he met with the alleged shooter and helped facilitate the teen's surrender.
Did you get any sense of remorse or responsibility?
Yes, I did. I did get that. It was obvious that he had some sense of fear, whether it was from the people he had the altercation with or whether it was some law enforcement.
Jemiah was in English class when chaos broke out.
I was scared.
She says a wounded student walked into her classroom and collapsed.
I'm on the phone with her while she's screaming, and I'm about to cry because I don't know what to tell her.
Meanwhile, earlier today, Dallas Fire Rescue said at least 2 injured students remained hospitalized for observation. Tom?
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about...
But that's not everything, because after your boy went and lit up the school, your man then dropped he went live on Instagram. He goes live on Instagram. Let's go ahead and
stop researching with ChatGPT.
Let's roll the clip of your boy going live on Instagram.
Haynes remains in jail tonight, but in new video posted to social media, you are about to hear from him for the first time and in his own words.
Told me he was gonna kill me.
Stop. Before we even get into the Instagram video, you know how bad your brain gotta be fried to go to a school, shoot up a school, stand over the top of somebody. Hold on. Stand over the top of somebody with your gun and empty the clip in them. You running from the police. Instead of turning yourself in, the first thing you do is you go live on Instagram. You find another YN to hold the phone and record you going on live on Instagram, because the other YN that you went, he don't have the brain cells firing to say, hey man, hey Tracy, this ain't a good idea to go live on Instagram. You should, just remain silent, turn yourself into the police, and do the right thing. But when you got YNs around other YNs, this is the result that you get.
All these told me they was gonna kill me. Look what happened.
Tonight, police are investigating this video of the accused Wilmer Hutchins shooter, Tracy Haynes. WFA sources say was filmed shortly after gunshots wounded 4 of his classmates. Initially posted to Instagram, our sources confirmed the video's authenticity Wednesday. Police have not yet revealed a motive in this case, but those sources tell WFAA they are using this clip to investigate not only what happened, but also why.
I know I was wrong for what I did, but I didn't want to do it. But I had to do it. I'll be if one of us get buried again. I'm tired of us getting buried and nobody doing about it.
In the clip, Haynes never specifies exactly what he did, but does say he loves his nieces and nephews and that he believed people were going to kill him.
My mama gone, my granny gone, everybody gone that I love. So I can't go. I can't go. I'd rather y'all see me like this, locked up, than y'all see me dead in the ground.
WFA also obtained and verified this surveillance video of the shooting from inside the high school. Watch as students scramble as Haynes, according to police, fired indiscriminately. Then
look at he done stood the dude on the ground begging for his life, right? Look, he begging for his life, right? Look at he on the ground on his back. Hold on. Let's stop the screen share. Because whenever a Negro is on their back, I got to play one of my favorite hip hop bars from my man Sauce Money.
So if you're with it, come and get it. The only nigga that'll have your back is the fucking floor when you hit it.
I mean, it's in the music.
But it's systematic. They reprogramming it. It's in the music.
It's in the music. You at school, one of them YNs coming there waving the 4-5s. Waving the 4-5s. You're supposed to have a principal there, school resource officer there, teachers is there, yard duty is there, school security is there. Bullets get to flying, people dumping on you because somebody let them in through the side door. And the only person that got your back is the fucking floor when you hit it. Let me bring back my share screen real quick. Because I am at a loss for words about this right here. Everybody ducking and running. And the only nigga that got your back is the fucking floor when you hit it right here. Stop the show, because now we gotta break down him turning himself into the police. We got to break it down. Which one do I want to play? Of him turning himself into the police. See, I don't want the whole news clip. Hold on. I don't want the whole news clip. Let me go to my trusty Twitter. Gots to go to Twitter. Let me see what does Twitter have for me. It's been a while since I've been on Twitter. Hold on. What was his name? Tracy Haynes was his name. Tracy Haynes was his name. He turned himself into the police. Hold on. Oh, okay. Here we go. Let's go ahead and add this right here. Let's go to Twitter. Let's go ahead and break down his Instagram video. So he got all these other YNs told him that they was gonna kill him. He didn't tell his parents. He didn't tell people at school. He didn't tell the police. He didn't tell the mayor, the governor, the president. All these people was there to protect him. Wait a minute. We got the other YN holding the camera talking about this is real shit. No. Is this how folk living in the hood? He said, I love y'all. And then hold on, him turning himself into the police. Stop. I never seen a YN who done lit up the whole joint, sprayed up the whole joint, got the blinking in this bitch. Police is looking for him, turns himself in, and he shake the hands of the police officer. Even when I got arrested, I had to turn myself in. I did not shake the hands of the police officer. These YNs are so gone. They're so out of touch. They can't use these they can't conflict resolute with the ops, but they can conflict resolute with the police. We saw Big U turn himself in. He out here killing folks, extorting folks, doing this, that, and the third with people who look just like him. But when it's time to turn himself into the police, he know how to reach out and shake the police hand and say, yes, sir, no, sir. We seen TK get sentenced to 80 years in prison. He in court talking about, yes, ma'am. But in rap songs, he talking about how he gonna shoot fuck boys in the motherfucking face. Let's go ahead and watch this bullshit right here. She really shaking the hands of the police officers. You got family members recording shit for the gram. You got the family recording this for the gram, recording it for social media, knowing bloggers, content creators, YouTubers is gonna put this all over YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. So we got the father right there. Unfortunately, wasn't doing this job, didn't teach his son how to do conflict resolution. didn't, and now his son then crashed out and shot up the school. Stop the show. Stop the show. We got a light bringer darkness. Says Black Minister took a hit with the Grinch coming out as bisexual on his last video. He said that BGS Angry Man knew this and told him to keep it hush. Oh, we will definitely be doxing the Grinch guy coming up. We will definitely be doxing the Grinch guy coming up. But you got to explain to me how the black father is not teaching their sons how to talk to people in a respectful manner. They're not teaching their sons how to conflict resolute. I see time and time again black fathers teaching their sons hood politics. You know, when you get down there and you get in the cell and they put you in for booking and have you in the holding tank, you're gonna have snitches come up to you talking to you about your case. Don't tell them snitches because they're gonna use your word. What you gotta do is you don't say nothing until you get an attorney, and he don't even have an attorney. Imagine praying for safety after your son, after your nephew, your cousin, then shot up the whole school. Can anybody, what is going on in these projects? Can somebody tell me what's going on in the communitah? Can somebody explain to me what the hell is going on out here? I just need somebody to tell me what is going on in these projects. Why can't these YNs get right? Why are these YNs out of control? I could play the Lil Ronnie shooting. I could play the Say So P shooting. I could even play the Mo 3 shooting, where they got dudes chasing each other on the freeway, hopping out on the freeway, getting out their car on the freeway, running towards oncoming traffic on the freeway, and they shooting people. And it's nothing but folk who look like this right here. Every time they put a mug shot, it's people of the million. And I'm just trying to figure out. I just want somebody to explain to me what is going on. And then we had the Carmelo Anthony situation. We got to talk about the Carmelo Anthony situation. Let me see if I could play that real quick. Hold on. Let me see if I could, because, oh man, this one right here, takes the cake. This one right here takes the cake. Oh, let me remove that real quick. Hold on. Do we have sound? Okay, I'm not sure if y'all can hear that. Hold on, let me remove. Okay, that should do it.
Walking out of the Collin County Jail this afternoon after posting bond. Thanks for joining us here at 5 on a Monday. I'm Nicole Baker.
And I'm Doug Dunbar. So let's dive into it. Carmelo Anthony had been in jail since the 2nd of April, accused still today of killing another teenager. That's Austin Metcalf. And that accused killing happened at a track meet at a high school. Today, a judge reduced Anthony's bond from $1 million all the way down to $250,000. JD Miles was there for it. He's live for us right now outside the Collin County Jail. Anthony just left. We saw the video. What else do we need to know?
Stop the show right there. So, background of those who may have heard what went on. There was a shooting or a stabbing at a high school track event where I guess it was raining outside. It was raining outside, so these schools have different tents. Carmelo was at a tent. He was asked to leave from one of these tents. He didn't want to leave from the tent. So I guess from the witnesses that were there, they said Carmelo said, "I'm not leaving. Touch me and see what happened." I guess Austin Metcalf tried to escort him by putting hands on him and moving him from the tent. That's when Carmelo Anthony took a knife from his backpack. And when he took the knife from his backpack, this is what happened when he took the knife out from his backpack.
Finish her. Fatality.
So that's pretty much what happened. That's pretty much what happened when Austin Metcalf, he put his hands on him to remove him from the tent, and he responded by doing a Mortal Kombat Baraka fatality and ended up killing Austin Metcalf. He then takes said knife, throws a knife, and runs away into the darkness, because that's what YNs do. They run away from the darkness. That's what your mans did. And then the family was on news. They was crying because, they had lost their son. The father said the father even said he forgave Carmelo Anthony for what happened. And then Carmelo Anthony, when the police came, he said, "I did it." And he tried to make a claim for self-defense because he knows if he can't make a self-defense claim, he gonna be spending the rest of his years, or at least the next 25 years, in prison for the murder. And when you go to prison for 25 years, you are put in a situation where you in jail with a bunch of other YNs, and you gotta fight for your manhood. You don't want to be fighting for your manhood. You don't be fighting for your noodles. You don't want to be fighting for your commissary. You gotta fight for your canteen. You gotta fight for your clothes. You gotta fight for your shoes. You gotta fight for your water. You gotta fight for your booty, and you gotta fight. And nobody want to be fighting like that. So he came up with this 25 years. To die after 25 years, you gotta come with this self-defense claim. And then black folks, oh, you gotta love black folks. You gotta love black folks, because now we got this GoFundMe. So when bail was set at $1 million, Carmelo Anthony's father didn't have the money. He didn't have the money. He didn't have the money. Oh, he didn't have the six figure. He not a six figure nigga. So he had to do a GoFundMe, and they reduced the bail in part because he didn't have the money. And when he had to explain to the court about, there was this GoFundMe with close to $500,000. Oh, we gotta talk about this GoFundMe with $500,000. That black folk, you don't have money for schools. You don't have money for black businesses. You don't have money for scholarship funds. You don't have money to stop gun violence in your community. You don't have money to stop single parent homes. You don't have money for infrastructure, but you have money to give to somebody who took somebody's life.
Right now, startup entrepreneurs, small businesses only get a tax deduction of $5,000. Nobody can start a small business with $5,000. So
can't start a business for $5,000. You can't approve the black community for $5,000. But you guys have $500,000 to put up for a defense fund for somebody who murdered somebody in cold blood. So when his parents said, we don't have access to this GoFundMe money to pay for, we're going to use this GoFundMe money to pay for his defense. And then when I read the GoFundMe, it says, help Carmelo, official fund, support the Anthony family. We are grateful for your support during this incredibly difficult time for Carmelo Anthony and his family. This fundraiser has been established to provide comprehensive assistance to the Anthony family as they navigate the many challenges surrounding Carmelo's case. Then it says, purpose of the fund. Let's go ahead and slide down. It says, while legal defense is a critical part of this journey, we want to make it clear that this fund is not solely dedicated to legal expenses. Stop the show. Stop the show. Stop the show. Because when this was on GoFundMe, it said this money was going to be used for the defense fund. Then the GoFundMe took it down because GoFundMe says we have a policy that you can't do a GoFundMe for somebody who's been accused for a violent crime, and everybody was crying racist. They said Dylan Roof had a GoFundMe, and Kyle Rittenhouse had a GoFundMe, and all these white folks who had GoFundMes, they all had GoFundMes for certain things, which really wasn't totally true. So they went to Give, Send, and Go, and then they came up with a whole new profile. They went to rebuildandrefundingnigga.com and got a whole new profile. The funds raised will also support a range of urgent and necessary needs that have emerged as a result of this situation, including but not limited to the safe relocation of the Anthony family due to escalating threats to their safety and well-being, as well as basic living costs, transportation, counseling, and other security measures. We ask for continued prayer, support, and solidarity. Your contribution not only helps protect and stabilize the family, but also serves as a powerful message of community care and resistance in the face of injustice. Oh my God, the victim Olympics that y'all Negroes engage in. You are the only people I know. You are the only people I know that can bring a knife to a school event. Now, everybody thought this happened at school, but this happened at a stadium that really is not at a school, but at this event, this stadium, this park area. They was having a school event. You guys are the only people that I know. You could bring knives, you could bring guns, bazookas, bombs, weapons, machetes to a school event. Get into an altercation with somebody. You could go stand in somebody else's tent. You black folk could go stand in somebody else's tent. They can ask you kindly to leave. You will say, I ain't going. And then they try to escort you out by placing their hands on you. They don't punch you. They don't kick you. You could pull a knife out and give somebody the Baraka fatality.
Finish her. Fatality. Baraka win.
Take the knife, run away. Don't render no aid. Just tear somebody completely out the frame. Come with a bogus self-defense. And the reason I'm saying it's a bogus self-defense claim. The reason I'm saying it's a bogus self-defense claim because Carmelo Anthony, he didn't have no scratches. He didn't have no bruises. He didn't get punched. He didn't get kicked. The person that he killed had no weapon on him. And you hit him with a Baraka fatality, stabbed him in the heart, lifted him off his feet, put him on his back. That's right, put him on his back.
So if you're with it, come and get it. The only nigga that'll have your back is the fucking floor when you hit it.
Because I know when you stabbed that young man, he fell on his back and there was nobody there. Even though his twin brother was there, is obviously his twin brother didn't have his back because he died in his twin brother's arms. And y'all raised $500,000. $500,000. And the best part about you Negroes and Negroettes out there is that y'all could donate and y'all could leave how much you donate and you could give a comment. You guys left a comment about why you gave your donation. Let's go ahead and read the comments. We got Brown right here. Hi, I'm from the UK, London, and I support Carmelo. FBA, FBB, foundational. We know FBA, foundational Black Americans, and we got foundation Black British. It's sad on both sides. May God unveil the truth. May justice be found. Praying for a fair trial. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. I'm not sure if this anonymous giver gave $50 to this person and $50 to the other person. That's the question I would ask. We got somebody right here. $100. It's payday. I'm back. $5 justified self-defense. Praying for our little brother. We need an anti-Black. Look at this. We need $17 donation. We need an anti-Black American hate crime bill. There's no way baby girl doesn't want to sleep in her bed. This is terrorism. What? So Karmelo Anthony stabs a 17-year-old student at a different high school, and somehow this is terrorism, and we need an anti-Black American hate crime bill. I pray that God brings healings and comfort to the Anthony family. Carmelo has every right to defend himself, especially if he felt threatened. Like Malcolm X said, we must protect ourselves by any means necessary. Nobody should be punished for choosing survival over silence. I pray that God brings healing and comfort to Anthony family. Oh, I think I read that one already. Sending love your way. Fight the fight. Sending love your way. Okay, they're doubling up. You are all in my family's prayers, praying that you afforded due process. So sorry that your entire family is being subjugated to so much hate. The facts will come out soon enough. Hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back. Because we actually got to hear from the mother. Let me see, Carmelo Anthony's mother. We actually got to hear something from the mother. Let's go ahead and listen to what the mother said right here. Because this is crazy. This is crazy. We got Bill Bunk says GMT doesn't believe the Black man is allowed to do anything in life that inconveniences no white man. You see this right here. You could bring a knife to school, send somebody else's tent. They ask you to leave. You say, touch me, see what happens. They touch you. They don't punch you. They touch you. And you hit them with a Baraka fatality. And somehow it's GMT can't come to the cookout.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Carmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas, searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children.
Stop the show. Stop the show. Whenever I break down these new clips, this, that, and the third, somehow the father is always in the back. And they put that B-dub out front, and that B-dub becomes the voice for the communitah. And you try to figure out why the communitah looks the way it looks, because for some reason, Black men don't want to lead. They'd rather be led by the B-dub.
In the future, we did not have. My husband worked hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're the best financial, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Carmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about.
So now they're being threatened, harassed, and lied about. First question I want to ask, because there was a video of Tracy Hayes I played where he went on Instagram Live and he said he was being threatened. Some dudes had threatened to kill him. I just want to ask, did you file a police report to your local police? What did they do? Were they sufficient in their protection? And if they wasn't, did you bring it to the police chief? If the police chief didn't do their job, did you bring it to the mayor of the city? And did the mayor have anything to say? If the mayor didn't, did you bring it to your state governor? And if the state governor didn't do his job, did you bring it to President Donald Trump? Did you go up the chain of command, or are you just running in the victim Olympics?
The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation.
What? The police is in jeopardy? People of the community are in jeopardy because of lies being told on social media?
From the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms.
Okay, so your husband got doxxed. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. You got doxxed. Hell, even Austin Metcalf's father, he got doxxed.
My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false.
False? I just read the purpose of the fund. The fund said that funds were going to be used to get another place of residence. Hold on. Let me go ahead and go back to the purpose of the funds right here. The funds raised will also support a range of urgent and necessary needs that emerge as a result of the situation, including but not limited to the self-relocation of the Anthony family due to escalating threats to their safety and well-being, as well as basic living costs, transportation. So when people say that you use the money to buy a house or a car, you may not have bought a house or even bought a car, but you use the money to get a house and to get transportation, which is a vehicle. So you can't lie about it. You can't play semantics with your words. You use the money, the fund, to get a house and transportation when that Negro, your husband who's standing behind you, he said the fund money was going to be used for legal expenses.
We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds.
Oh, okay. So yesterday they began withdrawing funds.
And it still takes several days to receive those funds.
It's gonna take several business days to get that $500,000. And notice when she said that, no, she wasn't crying as much as she was crying before.
Funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial.
How are you being discriminated? Is everybody who commits murder and self-defense, you get $1 million bond, and then if you can't pay that $1 million bond, then you could get your bond reduced. Hell, even Yellow Breezy, who was facing capital murder, he had like I think a $2 million bond, and then he couldn't pay his bond, and he got his bond reduced. How are you being discriminated against? Your son killed somebody else. He claims self-defense based on the police's preliminary investigation and the laws of Texas. It's alleged that it didn't fit those self-defense laws, so he got arrested and got bail set. And then when he couldn't meet the bail, the judge reduced the bail. How are you being discriminated against? That's all I'm trying to say.
To receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to.
He is. He got arrested. They took him in peacefully. He got read his charges. His bail was set. His bail got reduced. He paid the bail. He was released. He was put on house arrest. Isn't that what happened to Kyle Rittenhouse? Isn't that what happened to the other football player when his girlfriend sent his brothers to get him? Isn't that what happened here? He was arrested, put on bail, paid the bail, was released and put on house arrest.
He's been raised in a two-parent home with structure.
Okay. I see you over there flexing because you know the narrative is these YNs is out here, they being raised in single mother households, is the reason why the community's falling apart. So you up here, you doing your thing. You want to reiterate that Carmelo Anthony was raised in a two-parent household. Okay, I got to give you that. You earned that respect.
He's been raised in a two-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do.
Stop the show. That's where you messed up. That's where you messed up. And the reason you messed up, because if you put God first, and taught your son to put God first in everything they do, you got to explain this.
He is
You got to explain how your son didn't have not one scratch on him, not one bruise. He wasn't punched. He wasn't kicked. His cell phone wasn't broken. You got to explain how somebody touching your son, and after your son was touched, you gotta explain how this happened.
Fatality.
You got to explain how your son went full Mortal Kombat, pulled a knife from his backpack, knowing he's been taught to put Jesus and God first in everything they do. Did Jesus walk around with a knife? I just want to know. I just want to know. Did Jesus walk around with a knife, or did Jesus walk around with sandals, a staff, a stick? Was Jesus walking around with guns? That's just something I want to know, because you said you put who first in everything you do. Let me go ahead and go back, because I done already forgot. You put who first in everything you do?
With structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution. We believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us.
Hey, they played the race card. They played the race card, smooth operator. They slapped the race card down on the table like the big joker. She said, what? You said what?
We believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us.
In other words, those laws must apply to all of us and not just some of us, meaning the laws apply for white people and they don't apply for the blacks. There, they done played the race card like the big joker.
To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
I think it's stop the show because it gets worse. It gets worse. Hold on, let me see. Austin Metcalf father kicked out. That's right. The father went to the press conference, and this is
the
what
father
happened.
of killed teenager Austin Metcalf showed up to a press conference by Carmelo Anthony's family. After police talked to the father, he left, and the press conference by the president of the Next Generation Action Network started like this.
What we've seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words. don't quote anybody, is a disrespect to the dignity of his son.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, sir. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Carmelo Anthony hit Austin Metcalf with a Baraka Mortal Kombat fatality. The father gets on TV and says, I forgive Carmelo Anthony for what he did, and also said, don't make this a racial thing and try to politicize it. We should come together and love each other. The father comes to the press conference not to spread hate, but to show unity. You say his presence is disrespectful. You then kick him out of said press conference, and the father leaves with no issue. He didn't grab a bag and say, touch me and see what happens, the way Carmelo Anthony did. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is going on with some of these black folks right here. This is two-parent household. This is well-to-do, and this is how they acted right now. And I'm at a loss for words for it.
And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character. He was not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family.
Wait a minute. I heard hundreds of black folks. I heard hundreds of black folks say that the bleachers is a public place and anybody could sit there, and just because you put a tent up, that doesn't mean that's your spot. No, it's a public event for everybody. The man shows up to a public place where anybody could show up, and y'all ask him to leave. And when you ask him to leave, nobody goes into their backpack, pulls out a knife, and hits somebody with a Mortal Kombat fatality. You mean that white man had enough decency to respect that family's wishes and leave with no incident? This is some of the most ridiculous shit I have ever heard.
But he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words. Okay? Black people in America, while the current occupant.
This ain't got nothing to do with black folks. This has everything to do with Carmelo Anthony and the choices he made that day. Now we trying to call on black folks. This is crazy.
Sits at 1600 Pennsylvania. Black people in America don't have to pull the race card. It's what we live as a reality every day. It's what we have to teach our children. We don't want to, but we have to. We don't like to, but if we want to sleep at night, we got to. I ain't pulling no race card. I live it. I'm reminded all the time that I'm a black man in America. Because these racist bigots tried to prevent us from standing up for our baby, our boy. He should be afforded the same rights that Kyle Rittenhouse had, Daniel Penna, and all of the people who have claimed whatever their defense was. He should be afforded the same right. Nobody in the public media has one video camera, but we got the video of Kyle Rittenhouse with an AK-47 shooting 3 people in the back. We got that. And he raised.
Stop the show. Stop the show. Kyle Rittenhouse did not shoot anybody in the back. In fact, hold on. Let me see if I could go to YouTube. Kyle Rittenhouse, and we could play the Kyle Rittenhouse video. They saying Kyle Rittenhouse shot somebody in the back. Which just isn't true. Kyle Rittenhouse did not shoot anybody in the back. So, you don't want to play it for me all of a sudden.
That's what started most of it.
Shot him, man. So we got man right there chasing Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse is retreating. Kyle Rittenhouse drops him. Kyle Rittenhouse goes to check on him. We fast forward. The man who got shot, he didn't get shot in the back. That's a headshot.
Where, dude? Where? Where's the hole?
Wait, where are you at? Where? He's right here.
Right there in his head. You put it right there in his head, right there in his melon.
In his head. Come on.
Kyle takes off running. People is chasing him. Somebody swings on him. They knock him to the ground. Somebody tries to karate kick him right there in his head. Shot goes off. He tries to hit him in the head with a skateboard. He gets shot in the chest. Somebody comes up with a gun. Shot him in the arm. You can see his arm dangling like that. Who did? See, you gotta watch out for these Negroes, because these Negroes don't know what they talking about. These Negroes don't know what they talking about. They get up here and they play the race card. They lie. They do anything and everything to try and escape accountability for what they did. And if Carmelo Anthony would have took his ass up to that school like he had some sense, and when they asked him to leave, he could have just left, or he could have chose to walk away, or he could have chose not to pull the knife out and hit Austin Metcalf with the Mortal Kombat fatality. But here we go. We mess up. We need some help. Now we gotta play the race card. We gotta hire, a bankrupt substitute to help play the race card and try to use emotions to, and try to evoke slavery and Jim Crow to get black folk to rally around us, because we know we done messed up. If we could get just enough black folk, we could get the right number of black folk, maybe we could get up out from under all the weight that we're about to face. So here we are on TV. You on my TV with this bullshit right here.
Media has one video camera, but we got the video of Kyle Rittenhouse with an AK-47 shooting 3 people in the back.
He didn't have an AK-47. I think he had an AR-15, and he didn't shoot not one dude in the back. Headshot, chest, arm. Let's go.
We got that. And he raised more than $2 million publicly, and nobody said anything. The reason why the family or me or anybody with direct knowledge of this cannot talk about the particulars of what happened in that tent, I know you know this is all law, is because if anybody tell you there was an adult near or inside or whatever, this current investigation knows nothing about that. Everybody involved at this point of our knowledge are minors. In the state of Texas, you know we cannot release or talk about minors. So stop asking us the question. Stop. It's no. We can't even do it if we wanted to. Even in the bond hearing, you didn't see a single thing said about people that was indirect. They're minors. Okay? So stop. The social media, stop.
I have to interject because this is simply not true. Carmelo Anthony's cousin has laid out exactly what they claim happened on Facebook.
We can't talk about it. So if you ask me, I'm just going to look at you. Okay? So I'm telling the world. Everybody know the state law. I'm not creating it. We can't talk about it. This family can't talk about it.
Except for right here on Facebook. It's right here.
Okay, so we got they claim that one of the twins had never seen Carmelo before. A blatant lie. No student has the right to remove another student from a school-owned tent. The school owns the tent, not the twins. Carmelo was a track athlete. The twins are not. He wasn't expecting to see them there. Now, here's what they don't want you to know. The twins didn't just ask him to leave. They tried to jump him. Before attacking him, they tried to take his belongings, broke his phone, and stomped on it. The twins are known bullies, so ask yourself, if 200-pound attackers came at your child, what would you expect them to do? And yet, despite everything, the media is trying to destroy Carmelo's name. They keep posting a picture of him with an airsoft gun, not even a real firearm, to manipulate public perception. Why? Because they want to paint him as a criminal instead of a victim. Stop the show. We got to go ahead and address some of this right here. We're going to start with the airsoft gun picture. Let me see if I can pull up Carmelo Anthony with the airsoft gun. Okay, so they talking about this picture right here. They saying they posting this picture up to portray him as a criminal. Now, this is something we gotta tell YNs. This is something we tell young black men all the time. If you're gonna take social media pictures and you're gonna, have your pants sagging, or you wearing that urban wear, or if you're gonna put up the middle finger, if you want to have the blunt in your mouth, if you want to have guns in your head, if you looks like you trying to portray a gangster, and then you do something in the street, like stab and kill somebody, first thing the media gonna do is they gonna pull the pictures of you with the airsoft gun, with the blunt in your mouth, with you throwing up the gang signs, and they gonna portray you as a gangster. So when you're on social media taking pictures, don't take pictures with the blunt in your mouth, with the airsoft gun, with the middle finger, or hand signals that could be interpreted as gang signs. You can pull up all the pictures I have. When I post pictures on social media, guess what? I don't post pictures with the blunt in my mouth. I don't post pictures with guns in my hand. I don't post pictures putting up hand signs that could be misconstrued as gang signs, because if something happened where somebody accused me of something, I know the first thing they're going to do is they're going to run the social media and try to paint me a certain way. So I got to be smart. But when you raised in the two-parent household, when you raised with all the stability, and you raise and you are taught that you do everything, that you put God first when you doing everything, does this picture show you somebody who's putting God first in everything that they do? The answer to that is no. So since you didn't put God first in everything that you do, and that's something that your parents taught you, and when you took this picture, you failed to do that, you got to live with the consequences. But let's get back to this right here. Now, it says right here, the twins didn't ask him to leave. They tried to jump him. Before attacking him, they tried to take his belongings, broke his phone, and stomped on it. The twins are known bullies. Now, I will say, if the twins did try to jump him, if it says before attacking him, they tried to take his belongings and broke his phone and stomped on it, hey, he may very well have a self-defense claim. And the only question I ask, if two people who are over 200 pounds attacked him, I'm going to ask, did Carmelo Anthony, did he have any scratches, any bruises, broken bones? Did he sustain any injuries? From what I've seen and from what's being reported, and since Carmelo Anthony made, his court appearances, I haven't heard the media, court folk, his parents, social media say that Carmelo Anthony sustained any injuries. I did hear from Austin Metcalf's father that anybody saying that Carmelo Anthony was punched, pushed, or kicked by his sons, those are blatant lies. So that's going to come out in the courtroom. But let's get back to this video real quick.
Look at it.
Our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Carmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about.
If you got threatened, I hope you filed a police report. I hope you filed charges. It's up for the police to figure out where them threats come, find people's IP addresses, and hold them accountable.
We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. I believe in legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. The claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. We were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive receive those funds once the request is.
When they start talking about that money, them tears sure do drive up. All that. My daughter, she can't sleep at night. She's scared. But once they start talking about that money, hold on, let me back it up.
And the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. We have endured death threats.
Yeah. When it's time to play that victim role, they know how to get them tears to start falling from their faces.
My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. I believe in the legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. The claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false.
No. Watch what happens when they start talking about that money and when that money gonna hit that account. Watch what happens.
We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser.
Watch what happens when they start talking about that money hit that account.
We were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds.
Yeah.
And it still takes several days to receive those funds.
Yeah. All of a sudden, she was able to, almost sound happy that money was about to hit that account in a couple of business days. I know. When I work, when I transfer my money, it take a couple of days, and when that money about to hit, you could pay a little bit of bills. You could breathe a little bit easier. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I remember when not too recently, long ago. Oh, let me take that off real quick. When some money hit my account, man, I went and bought me a nice little motorcycle. Went and bought me a nice little motorcycle, nigga. Then I had to buy a helmet, some gloves. When that money hits your account, you feel good. You feel real good when that money about to hit your account. And we can see right here. They feel real good at that money about to hit the account right here.
Begin to withdraw funds from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. We were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made.
This is not just about Carmelo. It's about the family who dared to stand and demand justice in a return and receive ugliness that racism in this country still breeds. This blatant propaganda wasn't just about the fund. It was to discourage the public from giving to the fund. And I want you to give overwhelming support to show them the community united can never be divided. This will be our final press conference until this trial. We will not speak to the media again after this.
I just want to know, why did you choose to speak to the media that day? You see the problem. The problem is, hold on. Let me see if I could drop the link. If anybody want to come up and talk to the Grandmaster Troll about what's going on, because so somebody gotta explain to me. Somebody gotta explain to me. You teach your son to put God first in everything that they do. They leave the house, they put a knife in their backpack. First question I'm gonna ask the people. First question I'm asking the people. Show me a Bible verse in which Jesus Christ carried a knife or a weapon. The only weapon I've known that Jesus Christ was known to carry was a wooden staff. That's the only thing I know. So if you want to walk around with a walking stick, or you could swing it around, do a bunch of magic tricks with it, that's fine, because Jesus did that in the Bible. If somebody could show me the Bible verse of Jesus walking around with it, hit the link, show me the Bible verse, and I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Then he got to explain when he was asked to leave the tent, why he didn't just leave the tent. When he said he wasn't allowed to sit there because it was such and such school tent and that section was for them, why he didn't just leave the tent. And I already know what people's going to tell me. GMT, it was raining. It was raining real hard. He didn't want to leave because there was nowhere else for him to go. He didn't want to get wet before his track event because he wanted to be comfortable. He didn't want to have socks and shoes and all his clothes to be wet. GMT, you got to stall him out. And I say, you know what? You're right. Because when I was listening to Austin Metcalf's father explain how he raised his boys, I was disappointed. I was disappointed when they told me Austin Metcalf asked them to leave. Why not go up there, introduce yourself, have a conversation, tell them about your background. All these families, first thing they do when they get on TV, they talk about how they raise their kids to be respectful, be nice, kind, and courteous. Kind and courteous to other people. But when it's time for their sons to be kind and courteous, they asking people to leave and you can't be here, and not being inclusive, even though we got all these diversity, equity, and inclusion programs going on in these schools, at the job, and all these different organizations and corporations, but nobody wants to be inclusive. So I was very disappointed in the Metcalf family, because asking somebody to leave a tent when you see that it's raining outside isn't very kind and isn't being courteous. But that'll come out in trial. And then when he was asked to leave, he didn't want to leave. It seemed like he got an attitude and said he's not going nowhere. I'm standing right here. He wanted to be at a place where he wasn't welcome. And then as the confrontation began to brew, he said, if you touch me, see what's going to happen. What did Carmelo Anthony mean by that? Was he gonna pull out a knife and stab somebody just for touching them? But all this stuff, it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out during trial. It's gonna come out during trial. Now we got all these black folks out here caught up for the same okie doke, the same okie doke. They done finessed you out of $500,000. You gave $500,000 to somebody who stabbed somebody. Killed somebody. Hold on. Killed. You get $500,000.
I got a slash and gash, cut another hole in your ass. I spill blood on the walls and play tennis with your balls. If the phone rings, don't answer that call. Gonna slit your throat, fuck you like a goat, peel your foreskin off and make a winter coat. Peace.
You won't give $500,000 to stop the violence in your community. You won't pay $500,000 to clean up your community. You won't give $500,000 for anything that will benefit black people in the black community. But you will give $500,000 to somebody who crashed out. That's crazy to me. I can see why the Austin Metcalf family would get $300,000, $400,000, but to see the person charged with first-degree murder get $500,000. $500,000. It's crazy to me. And then to watch him play the race card is even crazier to me, because if you go to the track meet like you got some sense and you know how to conflict resolute with people and you just walk away from confrontation, you be all right. Because after Carmelo Anthony
Fatality.
After Carmelo hit him with a fatality, guess what he did? He ran away. After he hit him with a fatality, he ran away. So he was able to run away after the fatality, but he couldn't run away before the fatality. And he got a $500,000. We got the Grant stole his boo. This stream has me in stitches. Oh wait. Somebody says Gino in the chat. Marquis says, I'm going to be honest. Black community support the wrong people. I still can't believe it. After he hit him with the fatality, He ran away, but he couldn't run away before he hit him with a fatality. And then he bringing knives with him to school. This is crazy work. This is crazy work right here. How somebody could do this. Hold on. Let me pull up the Carmelo Anthony press conference. I want to be able to listen to the whole thing in its entirety. The whole unedited version in its entirety. Here we go.
Because in the early days of Satan, this is the first deviled egg
I want to start off this press conference to say something as a deep note that I can tell America. What we seen at the beginning of this press conference, the father being at this press conference, these are my words, don't quote anybody, is a disrespect to the dignity of his son. Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life. No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked. We have not shared the information that was shared with us about Austin Metcalf, because we respect the dignity of life and loss. And as a minister, I would not attack a grieving family, even if I disagree with them.
You just said the father disrespecting the dignity of his dead son. You contradicted yourself in your same sentence. You contradicted yourself.
I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement. I have asked for that same manner of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I will not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character who is not invited. He knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words.
Hey man, that's exactly where you messed up, and that's exactly where black folk messing up. Because when that father came up there, he was there to show empathy. He was there to show compassion. He was there to show unity. Because it's the same way that you claim that the Anthony family claims that people are lying on him, sending threats to them, doxing Carmelo Anthony's father. Guess what? There's people on the other side attacking the Metcalf family, doxing them, telling lies about them, and doing other disrespectful stuff. So if y'all would have came together, just imagine you would have invited the father onto the stage and just said, this is a horrible, tragic event. We're all sorry that it happened. We forgive each other. We understand there's going to be a trial after this. And no matter what happens at the trial, guilty, innocent, hung jury, whatever it may be, There's no winners in this. But one thing we can do is we could come together as a community, and we don't have to hate each other. If you would have did that, sir, I would have gave you and all parties involved so much respect. I would have been so proud of you if you would have put God first in everything that you do. And as a minister, to see that this is how you started the press conference out on, saying that you wouldn't attack the father and then attacked his character. It is very disheartening to see, but I'll let you continue.
Okay. What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop about this case. It is outright disrespectful. We haven't been doing it. The Next Generation Action Network has been here, popular and unpopular. So regardless of what's going on, that was disrespectful. Disrespectful. And I will leave it to y'all to define it. But of course we want to. Y'all, I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as the president of the Next Generation Action Network. Today I come before you with a heavy heart, but determined in spirit, not just as an advocate, but as a Black man, as a father, as a protector, community, and children. There are 4 critical points I must address today, and I want to make sure that the public and the media and everyone who believes in truth and justice. First, the misinformation about the fund. From the very beginning, there was an intentional disinformation surrounding the fund created in the support of the Anthony family. The Carmelo Anthony Fund, hosted by Give, Send, Go. Let's be clear. The family has not received one dime. Any of the media could have verified this, but we saw on Twitter, we saw on Facebook, and so many different things of the false, lavish life of this family. $800,000 home, purchase Escalade, in private security. Let me make this very clear. The Next Generation Action Network has always had its security detail. Many of you that know us in the Dallas and Fort Worth media know that we have our own security detail. One of the individuals that escorted Carmelo Anthony out of jail is here present with us now. They are a part of the Next Generation Action Network security team. The family hasn't hired any private contractors or whatever, or splurged or whatever. But if they have the audacity to spend money for their safety and security, that's their prerogative. The family has not withdrawn, and just until recently, just yesterday, they were officially notified by Give, Send, Go that they could start the withdrawal process. But if anybody know about this process, they know that that takes about 2 to 3 days to withdraw from that and actually hit any account. But this blatant propaganda wasn't just about the fund. It was to discourage the public from giving to the fund. That's what this was about. Because just like TMZ was able to call, Give, Send, Go, everybody in the media, in these news outlets that I've never heard before, could have did the same thing. When I first called Give, Send, Glow, they gave me every information that I needed. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say on regards to that. Let me make this very clear. This family never authorized a single fund on the GoFundMe platform. All of the funds that were raised on the GoFundMe were all fraud.
Oh, you're dropping the mic there, buddy. You was doing good. You was doing good. I still disagree with you on a couple things. When you say security detail, somebody's got to get paid for that security detail. Just because they haven't withdrawn any money from said fund, that doesn't mean there's not agreements in place that once funds are withdrawn, and now payments for services can be rendered. I'm just saying, you and your people is not going to be providing the service for the free. Let me say that again. You, your people, your staff, your office, those people who are working 9 to 5, those of you who are working long hours, providing security, making sure that the 13-year-old daughter can sleep in their bedroom safely. Somebody's getting paid for that. And that money's going to come from somewhere. More than likely, that money's going to come from that fund. But hey, I'm going to let you continue what you're trying to say, because you sound real good trying to spin that bullshit. But you think we don't know. And the Grandmaster Troll, oh, I know this. I know this.
Yeah, I got you. All of the funds that was raised on that platform were fraud, okay? The family was the first to report these funds. One of the funds we identified raised up to $11,000. So a post about anything that stated that GoFundMe took everything down regarding Karmelo Anthony, that was at the request of the families and their supporters. This family never tried to create an account on GoFundMe. The Next Generation Action Network is very well aware of the company's policy regarding raising funds for legal defense, okay? Since this tragedy unfolded, the Anthony family has been subject to unimaginable amount of hate, racism, threats to their safety. People have sat outside their house, sent objects delivered to their door, publicly harassed, online and in person. This is not just about Carmelo. It's about the family who dared to stand and demand justice in return and receive ugliness that racism in this country still breeds. But let me say this loud and clear. We are not scared. We are not moving.
You're not scared. You're not scared. I mean, I just heard how a 13-year-old girl was so terrified that she couldn't sleep in her own bedroom, and the husband was so scared that he had to take a leave of absence from his job. And now all of a sudden, we aren't scared.
Still breeds. But let me say this loud and clear. We are not scared. We are not moving. We will not be silent. What I've always said as the president of the Next Generation Action Network, we will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people. We will not ask for permission to stand up for the rights of our children.
Oh, Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh man. Where's Malcolm X? Where's Martin Luther King? Rosa Parks, Frederick Douglass, Thurgood Marshall, W.E. Du Bois, Nate Turner, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth. Oh, they summoned all of they using all of the ancestors' talking points, but it's not hitting with me because back then they used to hang Negroes from trees. Today, your son brought a knife to school and hit somebody with a Mortal Kombat fatality, and then he ran away after he did it. But they're talking about racism like we're still living in Jim Crow.
Liberate our people. What I've always said as the president of the Next Generation Action Network, we will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people.
What do black people need to be liberated from? We're in the promised land. We're in the stop the show. Go ahead and let me go ahead and make myself bigger. Can I make myself bigger? Can I make myself bigger? Let me go settings real quick. Let me see if I can get the integrated camera to work. There we go. There we go. Can I talk to black folk? Hold on. Let me drop the link one more time because I'm expecting the people to come up here, and I did not pin the link yet. So we're gonna drop that there. Then I'm gonna go to this computer here. I'm gonna go pin it to the top. Can I talk to black folk real quick? Can I let you know something? You made it to the promised land. You made it to the promised land. You remember when Martin Luther King said his I have a dream speech, and he talked about the promised land? Black folk, you made it to the promised land. When you wake up from your house and you leave your house, you could go to any restaurant in the country. As long as you got the money to pay for your meal, 99.5% of the time, you will get served. Another 95% of the time, you will actually get good service. You can get in your car. Some of y'all drive Ferraris, Lamborghinis. Some of y'all drive Corvettes, Mercedes, Lexus, Teslas, whatever car you want to drive. You could get in that car and go anywhere in the country you want. 98% of the time, nobody's going to bother you. You could go to the club. You could go to the grocery store. You could go apply for any job that you want. Some of y'all black folk making millions of dollars. Some of y'all making six figures, and some of y'all is well off at 5 figures. But to watch y'all Negroes, to watch this Negro talk like we still in slavery. I bought me a motorcycle. Can't even ride the motherfucking motorcycle because I still gotta learn how to ride it. There ain't no racist people bothering me when I'm riding my motorcycle. You could actually enjoy. Let me say it again. You could actually enjoy the freedoms of this country that people like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Frederick Douglass, all your ancestors who came before you gave up their lives so you could live abundantly now. And many of y'all are living abundantly now. But you act like, for whatever reason, it's still Jim Crow days. And here we are. We got another Negro. We got another Negro right here. We got another Negro right here talking about.
He said, we are not moving. We will not be silent. What I've always said as the president of the Next Generation Action Network, we will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people.
The oppressor isn't oppressing you, and you've already attained liberation. Black people, you won. You made it to the promised land. What's wrong with you? You don't have to talk like this no more. You don't have to do your Martin Luther King impersonation, your Malcolm X impersonation. Your favorite Black history impersonation, your Arthur Ashe. You don't have to do that anymore. All you got to do is when you leave your house, follow the rules and act like you got some sense and do the right thing. And you be all right. But we up here running in the victim Olympics. I'm not going to ask my oppressor to liberate me. Let me go ahead and rewind that one more time.
What I've always said as the president of the Next Generation Action Network, we will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people. We will not ask for permission to stand up for the rights of our children. The Next Generation Action Network has stood on both sides of the fence in ensuring that justice is served. Now, getting to the information that the Next Generation Action Network wanted to share with the public today. And I will go ahead and pass it over to the mother and once I make this statement, okay? All right. There's two more final. For the last week and a half, the Next Generation Action Network has engaged in communications with Frisco ISD to ensure that Carmelo Anthony's due process is not violated. We know that in the state of Texas, there are things that are discretionary things and decisions by the leadership of Frisco ISD, right? There are clear guidance in the state and education code regarding expulsion of a student. We have asked several times, we didn't just rush, we have had these conversations over the last several days, and we have stated that it is just outright wrong to get involved in this. Carmelo Anthony doesn't have to walk. He doesn't have to involve in any senior activities. But Carmelo Anthony is a 3.7 GPA student. And if he doesn't even go to class for the remainder of the year, he would graduate, okay? We've asked that Frisco do not make a decision in this situation. But Frisco ISD has notified of their intent to expel Carmelo Anthony from school 1 month before his high school graduation.
Stop the show. Stop the show. No, I understand Carmelo Anthony has enough credits to graduate, and if he doesn't attend any other classes, and let's just say he gets an F in all his classes because he's no longer a 10, he still has enough credits to graduate. However, if the school decides to expel Carmelo Anthony because he brought a knife to a school event and then used that knife to kill somebody in a mutual fight, that sounds like that's something the school should be able to do. But go ahead.
That just shows me that Frisco ISD is trying to push off the blame. And what I have not heard the media say, as many media outlets have asked us what went on, I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustee, why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds.
No. So he wants to hold the school, the superintendent, the AD accountable for not canceling the track event because of inclement weather. Oh my God.
Or postpone with weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds. Y'all are the media. Ask your journalists, your weather journalists, how the weather was that day and that time. Y'all do that research. Because as a person who is the administrator of your children, you are responsible for the safety of the children. And so it seems as if Frisco ISD is trying to push this off by making this decision that they do not have to make. So the Next Generation Action Network, outside of the legal process, will be going through different avenues regarding to ensure that we fight for the rights of Carmelo Anthony. Okay? So in the next coming days, we will be announcing to the public. We will do direct action outside of Frisco ISD administration office because this is outright wrong. You are getting involved in a process that even the legal process has asked us to respect. And we're asking you to do that same thing. You do not have to get involved in this situation. But it seems that even with us going and meeting or having conversations, they have made their mind up. And we want to make sure that the record, that we talk truth to power in regards. I wanted to lay this out to ensure, because of the sensitivity of this case, there are so many moving factors that I have to explain so that this family does not have to explain. Let me say this about the 4th, and let me repeat this so that you guys can go to the Frisco Police Department. The reason why the family or me or anybody with direct knowledge of this cannot talk about the particulars of what happened in that tent. I know you know this is all law. Is because if anybody tell you there was an adult near or inside or whatever, this current investigation knows nothing about that. Everybody involved at this point of our knowledge are minors. In the state of Texas, you know we cannot release or talk about minors. So stop asking us the question.
Stop the show. Let's say if Alexandria knew exactly what happened. Anybody could go to Alexandria and say, "Hey, Alexandria, you was at that tent. What happened?" And if Alexandria says, "Well, Carmelo was sitting there minding his own business under the tent," the Austin Metcalf went over to tell him that he couldn't stand under the tent because it was just for their team. And then Carmelo Anthony didn't like that he was being asked to leave, and he said he didn't want to go. And then that angered Austin Metcalf, and he tried to escort him by placing his hand on his shoulder and guiding him out of the tent. And then Carmelo Anthony reached in his backpack and stabbed him in the chest, and then he ran off. We could always say Alexandria said that, and she was a witness to that, and we don't have to mention that she was a minor or not. You could talk about what happened, but it may be used against you in the court of law. It may not match up to what you told the police earlier as to what happened, and it could hurt somebody's case or make somebody's case. But I do understand you don't want to say anything because you don't want what you say on TV to be used against Carmelo Anthony in trial, which is very smart. You need to keep your mouth shut and let the lawyers talk for you.
Stop. It's no. We can't even do it if we wanted to. Okay? We can't talk about it. So don't ask. There is a court of law that will express everything, will lay out everything. We can't talk about it if we wanted to. Okay? So make it clear. Go back, confirm with Frisco Police Department. Go back, confirm with the district attorney. Even in the bond hearing, you didn't see a single thing said about people that was indirect. They're minors. Okay? So stop. The social media, stop. I haven't saw not one person single-handedly get this right in the public. They're minors, y'all. Just stop. We can't. Don't send another inquiry to NGAN inbox. Do this, all of that. That's the reason why we felt like it was important to do this press conference today. We can't talk about it. So if you ask me, I'm just going to look at you, okay? So I'm telling the world, everybody know the state law. I'm not creating it. We can't talk about it. This family can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. Nobody, unless you want to be sued. You release one of those 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds and 17-year-olds name, the law of this land tells you what was going to happen to you, okay? So don't ask that question. Finally, in regards to this judge, I do not know Judge Angela Tucker. I've never met her, never known her, never been nowhere near her court. Don't know anything about her until we were notified that she was going to hear the writ. But the ugly attacks on her just shows Black America that no matter what you pick in the ballot box, and that is your constitutional right, it's people out here reminding us of the Black struggle in America. This woman is a registered Republican, has been for years. She put herself through school, she raised her family, she did everything. I'm a registered Democrat, proud. I'm the chair of the Dallas County Democrat Resolutions Committee. I don't know that woman. And to call her leftist is just downright disrespectful. The bond that was given is according to law and consistency with practice. If Aaron Dean can get a $300,000 bond when he killed a Tatiana Jefferson, Karmelo Anthony can get a $250,000. If Amber Geiger can get a $200,000 bond when she kills Botham Judge in his own home, he can get a $250,000. If Roy Oliver can get a $250,000 bond after he kills Jordan Edwards, all white officers.
Stop the show. See, we running in the victim Olympics, you see? Because people is getting up here saying that Carmelo Anthony's being discriminated against. He's not. He got his bail reduced to what, and it falls in line to what other people's bail amounts were when they killed people. So how is Carmelo Anthony being discriminated against?
Why couldn't Carmelo Anthony be entitled a child with no?
Just because some internet warriors, some internet nobodies have an opinion when they see his bail get reduced and they believe that his bail should have been reduced for whatever reason they have, that don't mean Carmelo Anthony's being discriminated against.
Background, no criminal background, no endangerment to the community, none whatsoever, be placed on a ELM and brought home. Please help me understand. Make this make sense. It's consistency. It's consistent with practice. After this, y'all, so that we'll know, this will be our final press conference until this trial. We will not speak to the media again after this, okay? Don't ask for comment, question, or whatever it is. The actions that the Next Generation Action Network take on Frisco ISD will be separate from the legal process because we want to make sure that Carmelo Anthony's due process. This is going to be a jury case. And then let me make this very clear. This is a case that has not even been indicted. So, under the guise of Texas law, it's not even really proceeding to a trial yet because it has not even went through a grand jury to be indicted. We don't know if a grand jury will indict or not. We don't know. That's in the district attorney's hands.
Oh, you don't know? You don't know that if they wanted to, they could indict a ham sandwich and woo, yeah, your boy Carmelo Anthony is in trouble. I mean, trial is one thing, but a grand jury trial and securing an indictment, it will not be hard to secure an indictment for a Carmelo Anthony.
Okay? And their legal team is preparing a packet for those things, and we will not be talking about the legal process regarding this case, okay? So after today, I just want the media to know, and I want the public to know, I don't care what you say about me. I've been in this thing for 11 years. I am tried, tested, and proven. I'm gonna just say, I'm from Oak Cliff. Worser things have been said about me, baby. You don't gotta inbox me, you ain't gotta tell me. I am the first person to tell my testimony. I don't have to prove anything to nobody. I am a proven testimony standing here that God, even when you make mistakes, God is not finished with your story. I'm going to bring this mother, Kayla Hayes, and it has taken her a lot of strength, y'all, to come and do this today.
That's cold blooded. They put the B-dub on Front Street and not the Black Father. Goes to show you in the communities the disrespect that fathers continue to get.
And I want you guys to respect her as she read this and giving her the respect that she deserves, y'all.
All right, so we listened to her. We listened to her already. We listened to her statement already.
I'm gonna show something of a post.
And what you got? What you got? What you
come
got?
for me, I come for you. Sarah Fields. Never heard of this woman.
Look at they're actually putting up random Twitter posts. This is crazy. They have already moved into a massive 3,500 square foot home valued at over $800,000 that they are renting from Indian investors out of Frisco. This is what Give, Send, Go, Did. Let's go ahead and break it down. Let's break it down. First of all, anybody that could go to Twitter and you pull up somebody's Twitter profile and you don't like what they said about you and you pick it up and say they're bullying me, I don't buy it. We don't know if this Sarah Fields is a real person or a bot or whatever. This is just one out of a million people that have an opinion. And they're going to have opinion about was Carmelo Anthony right or wrong, if the Austin Metcalf are right or wrong, if the Austin Metcalf GoFundMe is right or wrong, and if the GoFundMe for Carmelo Anthony is right or wrong. People they have a right to their opinion and they don't have to side with you for whatever reason. So this person doesn't like the fact that, or they claim that you move into a 3,500 square foot home valued at over $800,000. Let's see what you have to say about these claims.
This is the kind of despicable things that led to the father being here. Political operatives motivating this family with hate. Carmelo Anthony posted on something that shows, posted here. These are the type of lies that are threatening this family. Posting the family's picture. These are the type of lies. She's getting millions of views on this. Sarah, she's even came after me. She's even said all of those things. And now that the public knows exactly what is going on, I ask, because these racist bigots try to prevent us from standing up for our baby, our boy, he should be afforded the same rights that Cal Rittenhouse had, Daniel Penna, and all of the people who have claimed whatever their defense was. He should be afforded the same right. Nobody in the public media has one video camera, but we got the video of Cal Rittenhouse with an AK-47 shooting 3 people in the back. We got that. And he raised more than $2 million publicly, and nobody says anything.
Hold on. I'm pretty sure there was some people who didn't like the fact that Kyle Rittenhouse was able to raise $200 million via GoFundMe. There's always people on the other side, but hey.
Since they tried to come for us, I call for the community's overwhelming support for this fund. The disinformation that was put out was literally deliberate to prevent you from helping this family. And I want you to give overwhelming support to show them the community united can never be divided. And I'm gonna say this again, and this is for everybody. Black people in America.
Black people in America. Let me guess. You gotta do the right thing. You gotta act right. You gotta resort to positive conflict resolution. You can't crash out. It's time to mature. It's time to do the right thing. Love on each other, and stop the violence. What does he say to black people?
While the current occupant sits at 1600 Pennsylvania, black people in America don't have to pull the race card. It's what we live as a reality every day. It's what we have to teach our children. We don't want to, but we have to.
Look at it. All like just stand over there and look real sympathetic, look real sad. We'll have the camera zoom in on you so we can see if we can garnish you some empathy and some sympathy.
We don't like to, but if we want to sleep at night, we got to. I ain't pulling no race card. I live it. I'm reminded all the time that I'm a black man in America. And what y'all just showed to Judge Tucker is just reminded that hate and bigotry and racial reconciliation in this country, we have respected the process. I believe that Austin Metcalf is about to have his funeral. And I wouldn't dare, even with the information I know, and plenty people can share that and all that, but we have prevented from speaking about that in these type of public forums. It will come out. They have a more than well-capable attorney, and this family will go through a process of being able to get prepared for this trial. So I just say this real quick. This is our final time speaking to public and holding a press conference regarding this particular case. Now, the Next Generation Action Network will talk about Frisco ISD, but we will not do this. I will not ask this mother to do this again. The attorney will not. We won't do this again. Don't ask. We will see you at trial. Whatever venue that is, we will see you there. I stand 10 toes down supporting this family. And I want to thank all of the community leaders and people that I've seen that have came here today. Bishops and pastors and clergy, community leaders with respectability in this community. I see them today. And I want to thank them for their presence because this family needs strength right now. Thank you and God bless you.
Oh, they hanging on for everything.
Oh,
we got another video. Could stand your ground laws work in this case? Let me see. Let's see what they say.
The 17-year-old accused of stabbing and killing another teenager at a track meet in Frisco ISD in the Dallas area is out of jail this morning, and his bond has been significantly lowered. He claims he stabbed 17-year-old Austin Metcalf as a form of self-defense. Senior legal analyst Chris Tritico stuck around this morning to weigh in on this one. Welcome, and thanks for being here.
You bet.
What is your thought when you hear something like this, that his bond was lowered?
Well, it was probably the right thing to do. Under Texas law, the judge looks at several factors. The prior criminal history of the defendant, his ties to the community, and things like that. And when the judge looked at those factors in this case, they all weighed in favor of reducing the bond from $1 million. And in the defense asked for $150,000. The judge reduced it to $250,000, put an ankle monitor on, and put him on home confinement. And he has to call in and talk to the bailiff in the courtroom every Friday.
And we heard from his family, and they kept repeatedly saying, look, we have ties to Frisco. He's not a flight risk.
Right.
He's never done anything wrong before and been in trouble with the law. Did that play into part of it?
All of that. And all of that ties directly to the factors laid out in the Code of Criminal Procedure and case law that says these are the things that the judge looks at in determining what the amount of bond should be. Bond under the Eighth Amendment, bond cannot be used as an instrument of oppression. In other words, we can't make it so high that the defendant can never get out of jail.
One thing that's come out of all of this is we found out in the very beginning that Anthony asked officers, can I be in trouble because I feel like this was self-defense? And he asked them, could this be self-defense? What do we know about this? We understand it was a seating issue, a misunderstanding. What have you found out about it?
So he was at a high school track meet, and at a high school track meet, every team, every high school sets up a tent, and their players sit under their tent during the meet, so they're not just sitting out in the sun. Anthony was in another high school's tent, sitting under the tent, and then the victim came in and said, "You need to get out of our tent." And Anthony said, "Put your hands on me and see what happens." And the kid grabbed him to put him out of the tent, and he produced a knife out of his backpack and stabbed him. And so I think that the defense is going to be that when he grabbed him, he had a right at that point to defend himself. Under self-defense, if you feel that your life is in danger or you're about to be hurt, you have the right to use defense, including deadly force, to defend yourself. Question is going to be what amount of force was necessary at that time to defend himself.
Now, is that where the stand your ground law applies?
Correct. In understand your ground, you have the right to stay right where you are and defend yourself if certain factors are in play. Did you have a legal right to be where you were, and were you in fear of your life?
What about having a weapon on school grounds? That seems to be a problem. Usually at most schools, I don't know, there are all kinds of notifications that you can't have anything. But usually I think it says firearms, not necessarily a knife.
Well, I don't know that a knife was allowed at that time where he was. I don't know that that's going to be necessarily a defeating factor with respect to self-defense. We'll have to wait and see.
All right, Chris, thanks for sticking around. Just to explain the law, how all this plays. I think it affects so many families who have kids in athletics, and you think about how easily something like this could happen, and it's just heartbreaking.
It's a sad case all the way around.
It really is.
Right.
Thank you.
Do you need a loan for your business?
All right. So that's pretty much, if you ask me, if you ask me, for somebody to grab you on the arm like this, and for you to pull a knife out, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to explain that you felt that your life was in danger, and we already know Carmelo Anthony. I bet you my life on it. He will not take the stand. If he take the stand, the district attorney's office, who's got over 20 years of experience in trying murders, they're going to eat 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony up on the witness stand if he decides to go up there. And I don't believe Carmelo Anthony is going to have enough witnesses that's going to be on his side of the story, as in Carmelo Anthony should fear for his life. We got May the Alchemist says George Zimmerman said he was in fear, so it was no different here. See, what you gotta understand, May the Alchemist. From what I remember from the George Zimmerman trial, there was a claim that Trayvon Martin was on top of George Zimmerman, giving them the vicious ground and pound. And then somebody was heard screaming over the phone. And this person was screaming for their life because they was in fear. Trayvon Martin's parents took the stand, and when they played the recording of somebody screaming because they were getting beat up as they laid on the ground, and the DA asked both parents, "Is this your son screaming?" And those parents couldn't say that was Trayvon Martin screaming. And when George Zimmerman took the stand, he said that was me screaming. That gave a reason for the jury to come back with a not guilty verdict. So unless somebody had this incident recorded or whatnot, it's going to come down to witness testimony. And based on witness testimony, Carmelo Anthony wasn't punched, wasn't kicked, had no injuries. And the way the climate is now, when it comes to fighting, when it comes to mutual combat, if somebody goes in a book bag and grabs a knife and uses that knife for deadly force, the way climate is in America, that doesn't seem reasonable. So Carmelo Anthony is going to have witnesses on his side that's going to have to say maybe they took his phone, maybe they threw it on the ground and stomped on it. Maybe it was possible 2-1. He's going to have to, Carmelo Anthony is going to have to pull witnesses out of his ass. I don't believe those witnesses are going to be there. But that's just something that's just something that's going to have to come up during trial. We got Zimmerman chased and followed, engaged Trayvon after police told him not, and he still that's the problem. The police didn't tell him. The 911 operator told him. But just because the 911 operator told George Zimmerman not to follow, George Zimmerman is not under any lawful obligation to follow the operator 911's recommendations. But I don't have to try the George Zimmerman case because George Zimmerman was found not guilty by a jury of his peers. Now, when Carmelo Anthony, when he will have his trial, he gonna have a white bailiff, white DA. The jurors are going to be predominantly white. The judge is a black woman Republican. court operator, the court clerk going to be white, bailiff going to be white, the bailiffs are going to be white. And we got his spokesperson talking about, I don't have to play the race card, I live it. Well, when Carmelo Anthony go to trial, he gonna find out that the people who he need to be on his side ain't gonna look like him. And there's going to be all this talk about he didn't get a fair trial. He didn't get a shot. I don't like the decision that the jurors brought. I mean, your man is not in a good shape. And all he had to do was walk away. If he walks away, if he just walks away, goes to somebody else's tent, or just don't pull out a knife and stab somebody, if he just walks away, guess what? He don't have to worry about getting tried by 12. He don't have to worry. He don't have to worry. And if you don't have to play the race card because you live the race card, you already know what time it is. If you claim to be so oppressed, you already know how you gotta move. But the truth is, black folks ain't oppressed, because if they was oppressed like they say they was and haven't been liberated, they would move different. There's no way. If you're oppressed, there's no way you bring a knife to school, because you know them white folks is gonna be looking to get you in trouble for anything and everything. The first thing they could get you in trouble with is, let's check this Negro's backpack to see if he got any contraband in it. See if he got any drugs, and if he got a gun in his book bag, a knife in his book bag. Because if he got any of those things in his book bag, guess what? We could suspend them, and we could expel them, and we could hold this Negro down. But the truth is, y'all Negroes ain't oppressed. Y'all Negroes ain't getting discriminated like that, because if you was, you wouldn't have a knife. You wouldn't have a knife in your book bag. If black folks was oppressed like they say they was oppressed, they wouldn't be going to these predominantly white schools. They would be going to their own schools. They would be homeschooled. They would educate themselves. They would start their own businesses, build up their own independent communities. But y'all not oppressed. You guys are fully liberated. That's why you guys at these predominantly white schools, because they give you good education. They feed you. They treat you fairly. You get good grades. You graduate, and if you graduate from your schools with good grades, you then get scholarships to other predominantly white institutions. Texas University, TCU, Texas Tech. All the schools y'all go to, that y'all graduate from, that y'all get degrees in, then you use your degree and you get a 6-figure job. You're not being oppressed. Not in 2025. No, 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 no. If white supremacy exists, then who do you think holds power in Texas? It definitely ain't black people. We got all day life. They had to fight GMT. I know. All day life that they always had to fight. People always counted them out. People always thought that they wouldn't amount to nothing. I know. That's why them old white cowboy jerseys gonna make sure Carmelo pays for life. Y'all goofy. Now you in a position where your odds don't look good, and you know your odds don't look good. But at the end of the day, at least Carmelo Anthony did something that got him $500,000. At the end of the day, he took care of his family and he got them $500,000. See, it looks like hold on. We got somebody up here. We got American Millennial. Tell me what's on your mind.
What's up, man? How you been doing?
I'm doing good.
Glad to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a while on here.
Yeah,
it's been a while. Man, I think this case is just it's sad all around, dude. Like, we gotta remember, you're about the same age I am, that, it's two teams that made a bad decision. You know what I mean? Just from the information that I gather, I don't know everything about it, but I guess that the Metcalf dude was the one that initiated the confrontation. And then obviously Anthony was the one that obviously caused the killing. And like it's a bad, like I said, it's a bad situation all around. I mean, I can see from both sides of the argument. I think Metcalf should have, if how I read it and listened to the interpretation of it, he should have alerted someone who's like a superior if he came into a confrontation with Anthony and he didn't want to get up from that tent. He should have alerted someone that was older, because I guarantee you, if he would have alerted someone that was older, it wouldn't have happened. This is just what I think. I think Carmelo Anthony felt probably was like, how dare you come up and talk to me, tell me to move when you're the same person as I am. You're the same age as I am. And I think that's probably what played a factor into that. And like I said, man, it's sad all around, GMT. I mean, I just heard a little snippet from, the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes of you talking about black people being oppressed and everything like that. I think that, yeah, that's true to a certain extent. I think a lot of black people like forgot. I think the further we get away from like our generation of us being in our 30s, that black people forget that how it is to be black. I mean, if that makes sense. I don't know. What do you think?
Let me ask you, this American Melina. What is it like to be black?
Like, okay, so this is just for how my parents, brought me up. My parents are early boomers, right? So my parents always taught me that you can't go around and do certain things that you might see your peers do. I grew up middle class, so I have a lot of white friends, so they'll tell me you can't go out and do the same things that they do because you might scrutinized a little bit more, or it won't be looked at as the same. So you can't go out and be wild like some of them because you, like I said, you'll get scrutinized a bit more, or you might get judged a little bit differently. And I've seen that. Like I said, I grew up middle class. I went to private school starting out in my school career. And I noticed that, hey, when I do something, it gets scrutinized a little bit differently than some of my white peers. So, like I said, how I grew up, they'll tell me you can't go out and do that stuff because, like I said, you'll go out there and, you know what I mean? There's only so much you can do as a black man walking around here. So,
when they said that you can't go out and do stuff, let me see. Because I've been told things similar, like you can't
yeah,
go out and, let's say, drive drunk
mm-hmm.
and expect to get the benefit of the doubt, but a
Right.
white person could go drive drunk and maybe the police will let them go home or call a friend to come pick them up and not tow their
Right.
cars and put the DUI and
Mm-hmm.
put a DUI on their record, and they have to
Right.
pay all the fines with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, in certain cases like that, or just go like walking into, you know, I mean, this is just how I live my life. Like when I go into a store, I'm pretty sure you heard this saying too, don't pick nothing up unless you're gonna buy it. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
as a black man, you know, we always, as black men, especially, we kind of grow up with this I guess it's some type of like paranoia. Like, oh man, I don't want to go in there and pick something. No, I want them to think I'm stealing. You get what I'm saying? Just
Mm-hmm.
how, like I said, how we were raised. Like, and like I said, man, I just think that the younger generation, like, I don't know if they know what it is, or even the history of, I would say, even like being black. And like I just think that after Obama got elected, I think that black folks just got too comfortable.
You think they got too comfortable?
I think they got too comfortable. I think they was like, oh yeah, we made it. You get what I'm saying? So we could like act, we could act white, or we're the same, or you know, they just forgot. And like I said, it's just history though too, bro. Like for us, you know what I mean? We remember. Is your grandmother and stuff still alive, or
No, she passed away.
okay? Like I remember, like grandma. You get what I'm saying? Because of our
Mm-hmm.
age, you know, I'm born in the '80s. You get what I'm saying? Late '80s. So I remember grandma, or I remember grandpa, and I remember them. You know, them telling stories about great grandma, and you know, you get handed down like these stories, or like how to behave, or like I would say like real black culture. And a lot of these kids, like Carmelo's age and even younger, they didn't get to witness that type of stuff, bro. Like they didn't get they get handed down stories, or what it means to be black. They grew up with, you know what I mean, is the stuff they seen the last, you know, 20 years, bro. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you know, back in the day, you know, hip hop wasn't, I can remember as a kid, like my parents were like, don't bring hip hop into to my house. They wouldn't let me listen to hip hop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I remember I never even heard my mom and dad use the N-word. You get what I'm saying? That's
Mm-hmm.
how that's what I mean by like black culture. Like I have never heard my mom and dad like say the N-word, like ever. You get what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
God rest my mom's soul. Like I said, I never heard them talk like that. You get what I'm saying? So I just think it's a black folks just got a little bit too comfortable. You get what I'm saying? Like,
But let me ask you this question:
mhm.
if black folks were so comfortable that they forgot that what they were taught, or what me and you were taught,
Uh-huh.
how does Carmelo Anthony's family find a representative, and the first thing he does is go back to the race card and white supremacy?
Man, as you know, well, some of that stuff is still alive till this today. But also, as you know, that's more of a political game. You get what I'm saying? Like it's used for political gain. Just how you know, white folks, just how they used this case in particular, which it had nothing to do with race, because if you would have just put 2 white people or even 2 black people, this wouldn't be a story. You get what I'm saying? I just think that people use certain stuff for, you know, political gain and social gain, and I think that's more of them playing their card too.
So tell me the race card that white people are playing.
Well, like I just said, that, you know what I mean? What if this was 2 black students that had this argument? Would we be talking about it right now? We wouldn't even be talking about it. If it was 2 black students, you know what I mean, that this occurred, we wouldn't even be talking about it. We probably wouldn't even heard about it. But since this is a white kid and a black kid, and you know how news cycles are. Every 3 months, it's always something crazy going on. They always got to put something to the forefront.
Yeah,
I just think that they use this case for that. And I'm not saying it's white people. I'm not saying it's just all white people, because I heard even black people brought up the case too. And like I said, I just think that people use stories like this to cause confusion, to cause chaos. You know, agents of chaos. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Like that's what it boils down to. Because like I said, bro, if this was between even just 2 white kids, you know what I mean? No one would be talking about it. No one would. It would be like, oh, you know, that's sad. And why did this occur? It shouldn't have occurred. And it'll just be on to the next one. But since there's 2 different races, it's 2 different highlighted races, it would have, this causes, you already know this country is always going to be divided between black and white. Like, okay, what if this was a white and Mexican kid, or a white and, you know, East Asian or a Muslim kid that this occurred to, or Arab kid? Would this be a story like how it's been blown up to now?
Let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
If this would have been 2 white kids that does this, does the person who take the life, how much GoFundMe would that person get?
Like I said, the story wouldn't have been blown up because of, it was just like I said, between 2 kids of the same race. It wouldn't have been blown up. I don't even know if it would even been a GoFundMe.
I'm gonna ask that question one more time, because you didn't answer the question. It's very important that you answer this question, because I got a series of follow-up questions for you.
Okay.
If this would have been 2 white kids, how much money would the killer have gotten via GoFundMe if it were white kids?
Oh, 0.
If this were 2 black kids that did this, how much GoFundMe money would the killer have gotten?
Oh, 0. Flat out 0.
Okay, if this was 2 white kids, how much GoFundMe money would the deceased have gotten?
Oh, 0. I don't think.
You think 0? Because I've seen a bunch of cases where people get robbed, beat up, killed. They go on news. They tell their story.
I see what you mean.
And they put a GoFundMe up.
Yeah.
And that GoFundMe is able to generate anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000.
Right. I see what you mean.
For the deceased.
You're correct. Yeah.
This what makes this case interesting, because this is the first case in which the killer not only got money, but got more money than the deceased person.
I mean, yeah, you could look at it that way. I mean, I never like it. Yeah, I guess you could say this is a first. This is abnormal. Like I just think that it's just the time. I just think it's the time period of where you're actually seeing, I guess you would say, black support. I guess. I mean, I guess it's how you could put it, as like we're actually seeing black people, I guess, support each other, and you know, you kind of got to take it or leave it. But like I said, I just think that it's sad, bro. Just two teams that didn't handle the situation correctly. That's just my opinion of it. I don't think it was a black and white thing. I agree with you to some extent of, like I said, of black folks pulling race cards and stuff like that where it doesn't need to be pulled. And like I said, man, it's sad over around, and that's my opinion. That's my analogy of, like I said, it's just I think we as black folks have got away from just I guess what it means to be black. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we grew up in the same period. And I guarantee you, if I ask a question to someone that's our age, the same way I asked you, they're like, oh yeah, I remember our parents telling us like, hey man, you can't go out there and behave a certain way because like I said, just the history of it. But like I said, these young kids, it's different. They don't care. Like, I don't know if they don't care. You try to tell them about history, or you know what I mean, they don't care, bro. Like, I don't know. And I don't know how to change it either, though. I don't know how you fix it.
How do you feel about this new generation and their impulse control and them not acting out emotionally and crashing out over basically nothing?
Well, I mean, there's always been crash outs in every generation. I just think that for older people, we didn't have like the internet, all these distractions that causes, I'll say, like irritation, to be irritable all the time. We had to go outside. You have to be social, even when you don't want to be social, you know, in your life. And I think a lot of these kids they're antisocial. Um, I don't want to necessarily say it's bad homes, but you could kind of, include that. I just think that everybody, no matter what race, right now, the younger generation is just wanting to crash out because they're irritable. Like, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like, I don't know how, and I don't even know how to even fix it because we have never seen a time like this. This is new to us too. You know what I'm saying? Because we're still young ourselves. You know what I mean? This is all new to us. It's weird to us too. It's new and weird to us. So, like I said, I just think a lot of these kids, they're acting out because like they're like missing something. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, I just think that the last two generations, you got Gen X and then you got the boomers, like some of them set up their kids or their family to be fucked up, I guess. I don't know. Like, they didn't do a good job handing down culture and social responsibility. They didn't do a good job at that. So,
well, Hot Nine Rita has this comment that I want to address right here. She says black people don't have any rules or laws or any kind of officium established in America. Rules we follow under the Constitution implemented by white men. Black people have zero power. What I would say to that comment is, if it were true, if I were to agree with, which I don't agree with everything in that statement, but what I would say is, let's say if black people did make the rules and did implement whatever, what rules that the so-called whites establish that, one, we wouldn't establish the same rules, and second, black people through civil rights and whatever they marched for and whatever rights they fought for became laws. So they did establish something.
yeah. I don't know. like I said,
are you telling me black people wouldn't establish a rule for murder? They wouldn't establish a rule for thievery. They
of
wouldn't
course,
establish for a rule for rape.
right? Of course, yeah, of course, they would. They would. I believe it, and like I said, I just think it's a societal thing, bro. Like it boils down to society is crumbling, and like I said, it's not even a race thing at this point. Like it's just society is crumbling. If you don't have a value system or a moral system set up, how you expect people to behave? If everything, if everything goes, how do you expect young people to behave? You get what I'm saying? If they see the same, if they see older people doing the same things that they're doing and they're 15, 16, 17 years old, how do you expect for them to behave? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like they don't, there's no more role models. You can't go on TV and pick somebody out like, oh man, there's somebody to look up to. You get what I'm saying? And that like I said, that goes back for our generation. You know, we had some type of role models on TV when it comes to music or even TV shows like Family Matters. I always bring up Family Matters because I always saw Family Matters as a family of my own self. I saw a reflection of myself as a kid in Family Matters. You get what I'm saying? So there's nothing like that on TV, and you can't go out into the real world and see something like that because, like I said, no one cares anymore.
Well, they got to. There's still TV. What I think is you got social media, and it's been cool to go on Instagram, and you could actually go live as you crash out.
Yeah.
And people will cheer you on
Yeah.
as you crash out, and then somebody will follow and say, I think I could do a bigger crash out than the previous crash out.
Yep. You are, correct. Just to get follows. Just to get, recognition. And that's a good observation is, you'll have somebody crash out on the internet and you'll have somebody else follow, like you just said, a bigger crash out, and people will applaud it. People will pay money to see something like that. And that's what I mean by they just don't care, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how we were younger, your parents probably told you don't broadcast, don't broadcast yourself on the internet, or don't go out and, embarrass me and your family. But like I said, these kids, like the younger, they don't care. They don't have nothing to care for. Like, I don't know. And like I said, I don't even know how to even fix it. You could try to tell them. The only thing you could do is try to, preach to them and tell them, but no one, like I said, they don't care. And I work with, a lot of the younger generation. We're in my work field. So it's just like when I talk to them, you know what I mean? Like I said, they're listening, but they're not listening. And like I said, that's with every generation. I behave the same way too, but I wasn't crashing out at this rate like this. Like, I don't know.
So we got Hot Not Rita. She says, no, they got the video because it involves minors. They can't release it to the public. I find that real interesting because before I talked about the Carmelo Anthony situation, I talked about the Tracy situation. And when she shot up the school and the video came out of him going into the school, drawing a gun, shooting people, he even knocked somebody on their back. Then he walked up on that person and shot him some more. And that video was put out there. So why are videos?
Oh, so you're saying that they're withholding? You think that they're withholding the videos for a reason. That's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking that
if there is a, because I keep hearing that there's a video of this so-called stabbing situation, but nobody could produce any footage of it.
I mean, yeah, that is interesting. I mean, that they didn't. You would think that would have been posted. Somebody would have posted that to Facebook or Instagram by now, of even just being a bystander or even the aftermath of it. So, I mean, that you got a point. Like I said, it's just we don't know all the facts, and I guess when the facts come out, whoever, like I said, will be vindicated, or like I said, man, it's sad all around, bro. Like it's sad. Now they're both of their lives, obviously one particular person's life is gone, and the other one particular life, he's still walking around, but his life is gone too. He's not gonna be able to be looked at the same ever. Like, so it's just, I don't know. Like what do you think? How do we solve stuff like this from happening? Like stuff like this from happening again, GMT.
Oh, how do you stop it from happening? Oh, let me go ahead and break it down for you with this drop right here.
Okay.
But it's systematic. They reprogramming it. It's in the music.
Oh, that's the first thing you got to. Could you see American Millennial? I'm a basketball referee.
Yep.
So when I go do my basketball games, I remember that Meek Mill, "Nightmares and Dreams" was a pretty popular song.
Yep.
And then in that song, towards the end of the song, I believe Meek Mill says, "Real nigga, what up? Real nigga, what's up? If you ain't about that murder game, then pussy nigga, shut up." Now it's censored. They play the censored version 99% of the time. But they play other songs that glorifies violence, killing,
right,
shooting, fighting.
Right.
And then when the game starts and the fight break out, everybody's shocked as to why these kids can't control their emotions and stop fighting. And I've always said, if you play songs, play movies, play TV shows, whatever it may be of violence, you can't expect these kids not to fight when something pops off.
Right. Well, you know what? I have a question then. I have a follow-up question. So do you think that video games have a correlation to violence?
Yes. So there's a reason why these crash outs are being called NPCs, because they're imitating what they see in Grand Theft Auto.
Call of Duty and stuff. I see what you mean. Yep. Well, another question. Well, you already know what money is behind that type of stuff. How do you stop that though? How do you stop video game companies, music companies to say, hey, stop promoting this, stop putting out video games, stop putting out music like this? How do you stop that though?
It's easy. It's going to take somebody with a large enough platform to get on TV and call that shit out and keep calling it out.
They were calling that out. You remember they were calling that out in the 90s though, and in the early 2000s. Remember they were calling out like GTA 3 and all those video games, Doom, because they made that correlation, the Doom video game for the Columbine shooting. Remember?
But you gotta have somebody a promise. You can't have. It's gonna take somebody bigger than a governor. It's gonna take somebody bigger than a superintendent, a mayor. No, it's gonna take somebody with some pull. But your people with pull glorify the violence.
Yeah, because they're being, obviously they get paid probably to promote that type of stuff. Like that's another, I guess, rabbit hole that maybe you could further explain, is that people don't understand, like, when it comes to, I guess you'll say, black on black crime and all these different statistics, how much money is involved in that type of world. You get what I'm saying? Like, to promote violence, for violence to occur. It's so much money and so much profitability in that type of in that world, because not only is it money that's going towards your city for you paying for court cases, that court case money pay for police officers, your violent that like I said, that lifestyle pays for nonprofits too. You get what I'm saying? So when we say, like, oh man, why are all this stuff occurring? You know what I mean? And we need to stop this. I don't think we understand, like, how much money, how much of a profitability that it's not going to stop because it's too profitable. You get what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure you understand it, because it's just too much money involved. Like with that, poverty, crime. It's so much money involved that I don't know if they want to stop it. You get what I'm saying? It's power too. It's social equity. You know what I'm saying? Just how you were just talking about, why are they throwing the black? That's social equity too. You get what I'm saying? So like I said, it's just, how do you fight something that big? You get what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Yep, I think it's pretty much at a lost cause. It's gonna take somebody real big to get, torn out their friend, get their TV turned off, and maybe it'll work then.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I mean, like I said, I'm afraid. Like I said, I'm concerned about the younger generation. I cry inside for them, and me and my friends sometimes talk about it. Like, man, dude, like, I feel sorry for them. I truly do, because when I was growing up, man, I don't see kids outside. Like, where I grew up with, there's a lot of, like, basketball courts, and you know what I mean? And I don't never see kids at the basketball court no more. And I haven't seen that in the past 15 years. Or, you know what I mean? Like, or I remember we were kids, bro, we'll have basketball shorts under our pants. So when the opportunity come up to play basketball, we'll be ready. You get what I'm saying? Like, or just hanging out in the neighborhood. And I don't know. Like, I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry that they didn't get to meet. I guess you'll consider the silent generation, right? That's what that generation. I'm sorry. I feel sorry for them. You get what I'm saying? It hurts, because I think a lot of, like I said, a lot of it goes into they don't know any better. Like, you get what I'm saying? And like I said, I weep for them. That they didn't get to see that. Like, they didn't, like, our age, we got to see that. We got to see, I guess, the end of it. You know what I mean? Crack era, what started in the late 80s, early 90s, we got to see, I guess, the end of that. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Yep.
It sucks. But how you been doing, man? You been you say you still reffing, right?
Yep.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's definitely what's up, dude. Like I said, I haven't seen you. I'm hardly on here. I don't even be in this damn realm no more. I got sick of it. I just got sick of it. Motherfuckers just rinse and repeating shit. You know what I mean? And trying to reinvent the wheel. You get what I'm saying? So it's just, I just got sick of it. So that is it, man. But I'm glad you're doing good, bro.
Yep.
But I'm gonna get up off here, man. But it was nice talking to you.
All right.
All right, peace.
So I guess if anybody else want to come up, they could come up. Let me see what else happened. What? Oh yeah, I got to talk about your boy. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up. See if I can pull this one up real quick. Hold on. Let me see. I just want the video. I don't want no explanations. Damn, I got that too? No, that can't be real. Dang. I didn't even see that one. Hold on. God, we got to talk about your boy.
For context, this is approximately noon on I-35 heading northbound. This video is taken.
Yeah, we gotta talk about your boy Mo 3. These YNs is crazy out here.
And this is heading north I-35 into downtown Dallas on noon on November 11th, 2020.
So this right here is the Mo 3 shooting. We got dash cam, I guess, from a big rig.
Your Honor, if I could draw the court's attention, if you look on the, I've stopped this video at 19 seconds. You see a gold sedan in the far left lane and a black sedan in the second lane to the left. The gold sedan will be the vehicle carrying the victim, and the black sedan is the vehicle driven by Q1 White, who is then the shooter, based off of the evidence we have.
Well, I'm just gonna play it all the way through before I break it down. We gotta talk about this murder tape real quick. Hold on. We got to talk about this murder tape real quick. That's right. Where's my murder tape drop at?
I bet you Kane won't be laughing after 5 won't get a hold of this motherfucking tape.
Got to talk about the murder tape. So we got your boy Mo 3. He got some explaining to do. He got some explaining. Now I don't know about you. They told me Mo 3 is getting money. So when I see him, he trying to run from a Camaro, which is a sports car, and you trying to run away in your little Honda. I got to be worried. You making too much money to be riding around in a Honda, but your boy Mo 3 was out here in the Honda running on the freeway. So he's running. I guess he's trying to ram him off the road. Maybe he was shooting at his car. Maybe he shot up the car and the bullets disabled the car. I don't know. We have to wait for trial to get the information. But Mo 3 decided to stop his car in the middle of a freeway. We all know stopping your vehicle in the middle of a freeway is a good opportunity. You could cause a pileup. So he stops in front of the Big Red. Big Red almost hit him. Mo 3 opens the door, gets out of the car, and looks. Most people say he should have kept driving. If he was smart, maybe he could have dipped behind that white truck and kept driving. I don't know. Gets out the car. People are saying he's going to retrieve a gun to defend himself. So he goes into where the gun is at. Some people said there was either no gun in the car, the gun wasn't there, or the driver who's shooting at him get out of the car and is shooting him before he's able to get the gun, load the gun, take the safety off. Mo 3 sees he's in trouble, so he takes off running. Now, I don't know about you, but for a YN to get out of his car on the freeway and then run towards oncoming traffic to complete this murder is probably one of the most craziest things I've ever seen in my life. And I've been watching murder tapes. I've been watching these murder tapes for the last 7-8 years. So he gets out the car with the Draco. Let me back it up. He's trying to get the gun. His door open. The shooter is out the car. Maybe he's shooting. We don't know. Gibbs chase. His pants is sagging. I mean, these YNs is crazy out here. So I guess off screen he caught him and he lit him up with some bullets. Cars is driving by, not offering no help. He running with the Draco back to the Marrow. And gets in the car and takes off. But there's more. There's more. I guess this video, I didn't even see this video. Out 4 years ago. Let me see if I could scroll down. Which one do I want to? I want to play the short. So it looks like we got a CPR video.
Man, oh man, put the goddamn guns.
Guess I'll play the short. So we got people driving by and they giving CPR to your man Mo 3. Look at him. He's spread out on his back. And you know when somebody is spread out on their back, when you get lit up and you get dropped and you get
somebody drop this fool for me.
And you get dropped on your back. That's right. I got to play it. Where is it? So if you're with it, come and get it. The only nigga that I have your back is the fucking floor when you hit it. I don't know where Mo 3, his boys wasn't there. The only thing I know is the only nigga that had his back was the fucking floor when he hit it. We got YNs out of control, but that wasn't the only one. That wasn't the only one. Hold on, who else got lit up? Who else got lit up in the rap game? since I haven't went live in a while. That's right, your boy Say So P was out there in Memphis. He was out there in Memphis, doing his thing. Out there moving and grooving, making money, doing his thing. Let me see. Now all of a sudden they don't want me to play the video. All of a sudden I can't find the video. Okay, there you go. There it go. And so we got Say So P right here. And the shooters then hopped out the Charger and got the dropping on them. Right here. 720p, close to 4K. Broad daylight. Getting the drop on somebody. Now, I believe we have a different angle of it too. We should have a different angle. Well, they don't want to show us the different angle. I guess we go ahead and go back to YouTube. Let's see. They don't have the video. They don't have the video. Okay, we got a short. So the Charger gonna pull up right here. They gonna come out right here, drop down, stand over him. I mean, these YNs is crazy. They be out here broad daylight. They don't care about the videos. They out here getting out of their cars. Hold on. They out here hopping out of cars in front of cameras with the gun in their hand.
That killed Memphis rapper Say So P and injured Houston rapper Sauce Walka. Memphis police say murder suspect Jaden Dandridge was found dead in Houston. The warrant for his arrest is now canceled. Police are now searching for 22-year-old Kevin Brown, who's been charged with murder and other crimes.
Look, they got him right here, broad daylight, mask off. Dude's got these crazy, unique ass haircuts, and they out here like that, not even on camera. Park the car. We just seen you shoot somebody out of that white Charger, and here you go, hopping out of the car.
Shooting happened March 22nd outside the Westin Hotel. Anyone with information on Brown's whereabouts should call Crime Stoppers at 901-528-CASH.
So we had that one. Oh, we also missed another one. I also missed another one. We gotta talk about your boy Lil Ronnie.
Two men are on the run this afternoon, suspected of shooting a man and his 5-year-old daughter in Forest Hill. Police just released their photos and tell us Adonis Robinson and Jacoby Russell are considered armed and dangerous. Investigators say they were involved in Monday's shooting at Slappy's Car Wash. Ronnie Sibley was a rapper known in the local music community as G Money Lil Ronnie, and video shows him trying to get away while being shot at. Sibley's daughter Ramani was in the car. It was known in the 2 men are on.
Stop the show. We got Get Money Lil Ronnie at the car wash with his daughter. Hold on. People don't know who Get Money Lil Ronnie is. Let me see if I can find a music video of Lil Ronnie. Let me see if I can find some music. See if we can find some music of Get Money Lil Ronnie. What's your boy Get Money Lil Ronnie be rapping about? This is a rapper right here.
Yeah.
Hey, first off, free my nigga, yeah, yes. Hey, soda so dark, got it looking like the window. Hey, rappers start to flop, we ain't tripping, we got pots and a lot of blenders. Count a lot of skrilla till my fingers looking like they got splinters. Fuck a bank.
I don't want that song. I don't want that song. I want this song. Yeah, I want this song right here. I want this song right here. Let's take a little listen to this song right here.
Go. Nigga back on the go, trying to make the shit jump like.
So this is your boy Get Money Lil Ronnie. He got the chain on. He got his boys in the background. They got the guns. They got the blicks. They got the hammers. Let's go.
Jump, bro. Good though. What a nigga.
Look at it. We got the guns. We got the blicks, the hammers. We got the money. We got the lean. This is what we doing.
Really on a hunt, hey, once a nigga find it, I sell out and won't. Hey, big wop, got a motherfucker so big, get a fuck around and shoot down, dump. Hey, leave a nigga where somebody go get him a punch. Knocked his chain off his neck and got robbed for his chick, hell of a comeback. Hey, I'm trying to have a nigga mama crying sitting in the front row. Hey, so many wops in the spot.
Stop the show. He said he want to have somebody's mama crying in the front row at the funeral. We gangster with it. He said he want to shoot somebody and snatch the chain off his neck. Let's back it up again.
And shoot down, dump. Hey, leave a nigga where somebody go get him a punch. Knocked the chain off his neck and got robbed for his chick, hell of a comeback. Hey, I'm trying to have a nigga mama crying sitting in the front row. Hey, so many wops in the spot when you walk in, it look like you into the gun. You either fucking or cussed up, bitch, what you want? Hey, pouring up pints till the bottle look like a motherfucker done for. Hey, OGB all in my front toe. It's COD cause we don't front date. Not somebody gets the front go.
So this is what he was rapping about, right? This is what he was rapping about. It's how he looked real hard. He looked real hard in the music videos. But when shit got real,
dangerous. Investigators say they were involved.
When it was time to have the hammers, when it was time to have the blicks, when it was time to have the guns and the butter and get the busting back on somebody with your daughter in the front seat.
In Monday's shooting at Slappy's car wash,
Lil Ronnie took off. No. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Your boy Lil Ronnie with his daughter in the front seat was getting Swiss cheesed up when his daughter was doing the Alonzo from Training Day. Hold on, stop the show. Stop the show. When his daughter was doing the Lonzo from Training Day, for those of you that don't know, when his daughter was in the front seat and the car seat getting lit. Hold on. Getting lit up with bullets. This was your man. This was your man's Lil Ronnie right here. This was your man, Lil Ronnie right here. This was your man. This what your man's was when his daughter was getting say it ain't so. He was in the music video. He had the guns in his hand. He was hard. He said he was gonna have somebody's mama crying in the front row.
They were involved in Monday's shooting at
That's what
Slappy's
he
car
told
wash.
me. He took off running. Lil Ronnie took off running. No, he did not go out. I know you didn't go out like that. I know you didn't go out.
They were involved in Monday's shooting at Slappy's.
I know you didn't put this on tape for the Grandmaster Troll to see. There's no way. There's no way you left your daughter in the front seat.
Wash.
When I seen this, I said there's no way There's no way he went from that. He went from this to that.
You either fucking or a cuss though, bitch. What you want? Hey, boy. Jump rope, good dope. What a nigga really on a hunt for. Hey, once a nigga find it, I sell out and won't. Hey, big wop, got a motherfucker so big, it'll fuck around and shoot down dumb. Hey, leave a nigga with somebody, go get him a punch. Knocked the chain off his neck and got robbed for his chick, hell of a come. Hey, I'm trying to have a nigga mama crying sitting in the front row. Hey, so many wops in the spot when you walk in, it look like you enter the gun. You either fucking or a cuss though, bitch. What you want? Hey, pouring up pints till the bottle look like a motherfucker dumb folk. Hey, OGB all in my front toe. It's COD cause we don't front date. Knock, somebody get the front got bands in this bitch and I'm rolling with the nigga got clean in this bitch was serving roti. Your nigga had a rubber when a nigga had cutter, but I still went raw when I fucking a running. My bitch quick to let a nigga pop when I see you. Hey, nigga got Glocks off top. We ain't going for the nigga in the dirt like we popped up and hit him with his.
Put a nigga in the dirt. What he say? Put a nigga in the dirt. Hold on.
Glocks off top, we ain't going for the nigga in the dirt like we popped up and hit him with him. His bitch got murked, went to hell by the cup. Hey, bitch, don't scam, I don't even want to meet her. Hey, shit, tell the truth, nigga, really don't need him. Got one little hoe, go so hard with the beast. Bitch, swipe for a brand new beam if I need her. Put a name on the script if a nigga need the leader. Hey, permit the zine fiend, this shit better than a nigga. Hit the roll, the kick dog, this was way before
There's no way you could have all them guns in that music video. And then when shit got real, he didn't pull out a gun. He didn't do some John Wayne shit. He didn't do no Texas Walker Ranger Chuck Norris shit and taking people's guns. He took off running across the park. And there's no way. There's no way he took off across the parking lot. Let me play that. Let me play that in slow motion. I gotta play that in slow motion.
He's car wash.
Hey, he took off.
Ronnie's
took off running. There's no way. I couldn't believe. There's no way you could look that hard on a music video with all them guns, all them blicks, all the hammers. And the day you needed the most, you didn't have not one blick, not one gun, not one hammer, and you had no fight in you, and you took off running, leaving your daughter in the front seat.
Sibley was a rapper known in the local music community as G Money, Lil Ronnie, and video shows him trying to get away while being shot at. Sibley's daughter, Ramani, was in the car and was also killed.
I just need somebody to explain me what is going on in these YouTube streets now. I already know what happened. He was vacuuming his car. So when you're in your car and you're vacuuming, you can't hear nothing. So he was vacuuming his car, and then he probably heard and seen his daughter getting Swiss cheesed up, glass flying everywhere, and instead of pulling out the blicks and the hammers and get the blicking in this bitch, because that's what they rap about, he took off running. He ran to a corner, got cornered in the corner. They put him down, and you already know when he hit the ground, his back hit the floor first. Shout out to my man Sauce Money.
So if you're with it, come and get it. The only nigga that'll have your back is the fucking floor when you hit it.
And the thing about it, the killers.
Boy, didn't take no money, didn't take no jury. Just pow! Took her life, you know what I'm saying?
Didn't take no money, didn't take no jury, didn't even take the car. Just pow! Take your life. This is what they do. This is what's going on in the communitah. We're still trying to figure out what's going on, this, that, and third. But with all that money these rappers got, they should have paid to keep living. You need to have security. You gotta have you a car that could run from other cars chasing you. You gotta have a car that's a bulletproof. Or you just got to stay out the way. You just got to stay out the way. That's what GMT plans to do. I want to thank you guys for watching the Grandmaster Troll Show. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to all the people that donated. I didn't check my Cash App, but there were some people who hit the super chat. Somebody said they were going to hit me in the Venmo. I put my Venmo in there. Let's see. Okay, so we had Sean, I don't know how to pronounce it. Initials SC coming through $2 on the Venmos. I appreciate it. But it's hard out there. You gotta fight to stay alive. You gotta stay away from these YNs because they will crash out. And at the end of the day, it's very important that you go out like this.
I lived, you died. I lived and you died.
And with that said, it is your boy, the Grandmaster Troll. Peace.